Almost Christmas is a lovely holiday film. It was very laid back, and it showed the unity family is supposed to have, and how issues are supposed to be resolved through communication, through understanding, coming together to reason together. And I like how this family couldn't be broken up. I liked how the father, Walter, did everything he needed to do to get his family to be unified, with the help of his sister-in-law, Aunt May, played by Monique, because Aunt May had lost her sister, as Walter had lost his wife, Grace, the mother of his children, Cheryl, Christian, Rachel, and Evan. Evan being the youngest, and therefore had a deeper emotional attachment to his mother, and even to the house that was his childhood home, because the majority of memories he had with his mother is tied to the house. Nevertheless, it's best to remember people are more than material things. Their very existence should transcend material objects, because he's literally a representation of his mother and the love between his parents. It shouldn't have made him upset with his last surviving parent. It was indicated Danny Glover's character was a great father, so he knew how to handle the bickering amongst the siblings. I'm glad we got to see that every one of his children were functional. There was really nothing wrong with them. For me, there was really nothing wrong with this family. Sure, they bickered and they needed to be more unified, which they did, because it was an easy fix. For me, this family represented a highly functional, prestigious, and prosperous family. We see the literal origins of Walter and Grace, how they started off small and then grew their family and grew their household. We saw Aunt May, how she traveled with so many artists, living the big life and living the dream. They were not struggling one bit. They had all these advantages, and for one of the siblings, Christian, to grow up to become a politician, and not just any politician, one with substance, one ethically sound and rounded and rooted, because he did make a stand in here that he would not be a part of something he knew at his core he was raised to know better about. If you can't help people, don't hurt them. That was something his mother and father trained him to know, because some people do not have this realization. Some have this self-preservation, so I'm glad he came to his senses and listened to his father. With parents like that, like Walter and Grace, it made no sense that they wouldn't have self-awareness about themselves. And I'm glad they realized their flaws and tried to take care of it and attend to it. Because to me, compared to other movies, they didn't have a lot of issues that needed to be resolved. That's why it was such a feel-good movie. Of course, there's some drama. For instance, when Cheryl's low-budget husband was revealed to have an affair, things get crunk when the woman he was with, who doesn't know he's married, shows up to the family's doorstep. Based on the invite to the family dinner she received from Rachel, because Rachel knew of the affair her sister's husband was having, so out of spite, since there's a low-key rivalry between the two sisters, she invited her. Technically, all the siblings would argue a bit, but these two argued the most. But for the sake and love they have for their mother, they made peace by the holiday supper. Of course, the invite was already in motion despite Rachel attempting to call backsies. She didn't receive the backsies on the invite, so she had shown up. Naturally, the affair is revealed in a carefree, accidental way, with photographical evidence presented to all, including outside family members such as the advisor and the friend. Cheryl gets the grandma being code word for a Second Amendment. I'm glad the dad was cool and relaxed. He didn't give a care. Good for him. He's great at daddy, coming to stop her and comfort her. I liked seeing that. I liked how the sisters settled things between them. It was cute to see them grow. I thought it was weird that Cheryl, despite having an example of a great man with her father, would marry a guy that wasn't like him at all. This dude was so silly, from trying and failing to fix a Santa, embarrassing himself in front of the kids, to his affair that he performed in a public place with all types of germs. The number one highlight of the film that had me laughing the most was Monique. Love and adore her. She always was roasting people or giving her 2 cents.
Look at this book. Look at this young shit.
Monique knows how to deliver a roast, doesn't she? It was this dude trying to push up on her for me. He didn't have a chance. She didn't allow nobody to disrespect her like the Lonnie dude here. Get him. In addition, Aunt May brought the essence of unity with her, encouraging the youngest to play music and dance in the kitchen, which all the family joined in to do. My main beef with the film is that she could have been in it more. The aunt only shared her backstory very little, but we never got to see her do anything in her personal time outside of her fam. I would have preferred there be no affair, just happy all the way around, but it's something she overcame regardless, because it be like that sometimes for some women. Nevertheless, it was a cute movie. I thought the relations between Rachel and her friend Malachi was especially cute when he finally wooed her, and they danced to a popular song by Troop that was at their prom years prior. Oh, and the starter was so supportive. Nice film. And that's just my take on it, but feel free to leave comments about your own perception of this movie and how you felt about it. That's all for today. Stay tuned.